That's just like a little easy free throw that he tossed up there and led Biner perfectly.
When Kozar sees you making a mistake, he's going to jump all over it. That was a great pass. That was a a real good over-the-shoulder catch for a running back to make.
Ernest had such great hands. His hands are enormous, large hands. Bernie and he had really a great synergy, if you will, in their ability to kind of anticipate where Ernest was going to be.
I think the players were at a point saying, hey, we can't let up because of Ernest Biner. Number one, the kind of player that he was and what he was capable of doing. But we did.
Coming up next, the Broncos continue to stumble.
You're going to BK to get those cheesy tots again, aren't you?
They're hash browns filled with cheese. And I love cheese.
I could be filled with cheese.
Cheesy Tots, part of the BK Breakfast Value Menu.
Should a man over 50 take the same multivitamin as a woman?
I don't think so.
One a day men's 50+ advantage. The only complete multivitamin with support for prostate and heart health. Plus more Ginkgo for memory and concentration. Nice. From One a Day.
We got them. Longer lasting, more reliable, and higher quality parts like Remy starters and alternators. So whatever you're working on, Advance will help you keep the wheels turning.
Steve Odell is a real Geico customer, not a paid celebrity. So to help tell his story, we hired a celebrity.
Recently, my father was carjacked at knife point.
Oh, honey, that's all right. This face has seen more knives than a Benihana.
Geico handled the whole thing with unbelievable sensitivity.
Sensitivity? I can't feel my face.
I was so impressed I switched to Geico and saved over $600.
I was very happy.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
Am I smiling? I can't tell, Steve. I can't.
Now you can leave the wrinkles to new refresh technology with the Kenmore Elite Steam Care Dryer. Unlike ordinary dryers, the Kenmore Elite Steam Care Dryer has a steam care cycle. Using the power of heat and water, it refreshes clothes and relaxes wrinkles, all with the touch of a button. Kenmore, it's that simple. Come to Sears for the latest innovations in steam technology and the largest selection of leading brands in laundry care. Sears, where it begins.
This is no reality show.
This isn't acting.
This is the absolute genuine article. This is going to change the way fans see the game.
This is business.
This is pleasure.
This is Braylon.
This is bratwurst. And Brian, this is what the Colts do best.
This is focused.
This is flawless.
This is football.
I'm Marvin Lewis, and you're watching NFL Network.
Now, back to more Film Session on the NFL Network.
Trailing 28-17 midway through the third quarter, the Browns kicked off. Ken Bell's muff pinned the Broncos inside their own 10. The Browns forced Denver into a 3-and-out. Following Gerald McNeil's return, Cleveland took possession at the Broncos' 42. Unexpectedly, the game had turned.
Cleveland has it at the 42. Dumps it on the screen to Mack, and good blocking. And Mack has about 10. Cragen, the nose tackle from behind.
In the Cleveland scheme of things, that is really a running play rather than a pass. They do not run the ball with a sweep very often.
Ozar looking for Slaughter. And a juggling catch at the 10-yard line. They say he stepped out at the 12. First down. Boy, that ball was hanging out there, though, very close to an interception going the other way by Wilson. And suddenly, Cleveland threatening to make this a battle. Mack. almost think he was named after the truck. 8 more yards. 2nd and 2 at the 4. Ernest Biner, touchdown Cleveland. Biner's 2nd score of this 3rd quarter.
When it got to 28-24, we were scrambling. We were making mistakes we normally don't make. We really, I think in some ways, we're panicking.
Browns have come roaring back, and you've got to sense the kind of confidence it takes from that far back not to lose your enthusiasm, to have the kind of courage to put it back in the end zone and get back into this game.
We get set for the kickoff. The Browns have scored 21 points in this 3rd quarter. The Broncos regulars in the season gave up 21 points or more only 3 times in a game. With under 19 minutes left in the game, a 4-point contest. Winder flag down as Winder picks up 10, maybe a face mask.
Take a quick peek at it. Sims playing for the injured Dave Pazzulli. You see him reaching in, getting whatever he could to try and get the tackle, get it stopped. But those penalties are very costly.
Quick toss, Lang. Read well by Mike Johnson. Mobley in motion, shotgun. Wide open is Mark Jackson. Breaks another tackle. And finally is out of bounds at the Cleveland 40-yard line. He's got that spin move down pat.
Jackson put a great move on Hanford Dixon. Missed tackle right there. And I'll tell you, that has been costly for these Browns today. That's that fast break football we talked about. Big play offense for the Broncos.
First down. Winder protecting the ball for 3. Lucius Sanford. Number 50 with a tackle. In shotgun on early downs. Ellis on a blitz. They pick it up. Mobley. The giant tight end with a first down, leading to the 29. He's hurt. So is the Cleveland tackler, Harper. That is a mismatch. Harper's 174 pounds, and Mobley's about 274.
I really believe this is one of the most physical football games I've ever seen. I don't remember a game in which you saw more players being carried or helped to the sideline.
Down to the 1-minute mark, 3rd quarter. First down inside the 30 for Elway. Underneath, and Natil can't hang on. Elway going for Natil. Out of the field of play. Not a catchable ball, and Minifield really had the inside shut off. 3rd and 10 for Elway.
Big play for this Cleveland defense and for Elway.
Goes to the ground to Bodie, trying to cross him up. And he almost made it. 9 yards for Bodie on the draw out of the shotgun.
Now, Dan Reeves
sends in the field goal team. That would, if successful, give him a 7-point lead. 38-yard attempt by Carlos. Straight. Denver leads 31-24. McNeil, the only deep man for Cleveland, as Carlos kicks it off. Final seconds, 3rd quarter. McNeil's going to return this one, I believe. And the little guy is smothered at the 13. Mitch Andrews downfield, and Bruce Klosterman at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Coming up, Kosar and Biner attempt to tie the score.
There were times when we felt that Barry needed to do more. Maybe that was one of the reasons that we started to lose our edge, because there wasn't that that threat.
America's Game.
Hey guys, I'm Dan Marino.
And I'm Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done.
I lost 22 pounds with Nutrisystem.
That's pretty good. I lost 50 pounds.
Losing all that weight feels great and makes me look even better.
Well, you look good, but you're missing something. Well, hello, ladies.
The new Nutrisystem for Men is our best program ever. A new heart-healthy program formulated to help fight your hunger and curb cravings.
I tell you what, 50 pounds is like losing 5 bowling balls. Take it off. 4 bowling balls off my gut.
Just order Nutrisystem for Men today to get 4 weeks of awesome food and learn how to get 3 extra weeks free.
It's easy. If you can eat, you can lose weight.
That's right. It is pretty easy.
Yeah, so when you gonna start?
Hilarious. Let me tell you something, Don Rickles. You ever imagine you could look this sexy eating lasagna? I mean, look at me. Look at that high name. Touch it, touch it.
If you want real results, the kind that get you noticed, then you have to order Nutrisystem for Men today.
Nutrisystem does all the work. You just heat it and eat it.
Pop it in the heating box. Ding, ding, ding. Pull it out and gobble her.
Plus, it's affordable. About $11 a day gets you 4 full weeks of satisfying food delivered to your door.
And the shipping free.
Tastes great and you lose weight.
Hey, looky here, Dan. I got a whole box of Get Skinny.
Order our 4-week men's program now, and you get an extra 21 breakfasts, 21 lunches, 21 snacks, 21 dinners, and 21 desserts. An extra 3 weeks of food free.
Look, you got weight problems?
Well, good, and let's do something about it.
Call Nutrisystem, man.
Get her done.
See how Nutrisystem for Men can change your body.
Hey, look, I can tuck my shirt in.
Call now, 888-753-8326 to find out how you can get 3 extra weeks absolutely free.
I'm Eric Mangini, and you're watching NFL Network.
They start from the 13, a 7-point game. Screen to Mack. And Haynes was able to get through a blocker and trip him up. Down the middle to Newsom. Knocked away, no flag. Simon Fletcher did a whale of a job, number 73. 3rd down and 4. Down the middle, Biner's open. Ernest Biner with Lilly to beat. And Lilly finally wrestles him down at the 27-yard line.
Interesting to see the total difference in the styles of Kosar and Elway. Elway, the power pitcher, I mean, he's throwing it right through guys. Kosar's shot putting the ball. He's flipping it out with one hand, side-arming it.
We started to appreciate how good Bernie Kosar was in that second half. And not the powerful threat to run as Elway did, or the great long arm, but so very accurate in his passes.
And Kosar and Biner, the men that Schottenheimer penciled in as his top 2 players. He said those are the last 2 guys I'd ever lose in a trade, and they collaborate again for a big Cleveland play.
The other thing he said, when the going gets tough, we want the ball in the hands of Ernest Biner.
Ernest was a great player, and he got open, gets down, got down the seam, and makes some plays against us, and that's the kind of plays great big game players make.
27 yards away from a tying touchdown, the Cleveland Browns. Newsom inside the 20. 2nd and 2. A half yard. Kosar 10 for 10 in the second half. Looks at 3rd and 2, a long 2. Mack. What an effort by Kevin Mack to the 5-yard line. Oh, my. 14 tough yards. It's 1st and goal at the 5. zone. Well covered by Haynes.
Substitutions onto the field as we watch Kosar unloading that ball at the last second.
Yeah, that was a great throw.
Well, I'll tell you, it's right there where only Fontenot had the chance at the football. 3rd and goal. 4 wide receivers.
Underneath to Slaughter for a touchdown.
We're in the red zone, and I'm lined up in bump, man bump. Our whole game plan that day was to force the Cleveland receivers to our safeties. As I'm sitting there in man bump, Webster Slaughter gives me a little move at the line, and he goes inside. I'm saying, hey, great, he's going to my safety. Kosar, and the passer that he is, great passer that he is, boy, he's able to pinpoint the pass and get it between Dennis Smith and myself.
Kosar perhaps answering, what can we do to answer the drive of last year that kept us from going to the Super Bowl? We got to put a few drives together of our own.
An 87-yard drive. This to tie it. 31 apiece.
Coming up, Elway's legs betray him.
You know what they're thinking. Arby's Market Fresh Reuben on marble rye bread or the rye wrap. With corned beef, melted Swiss, Thousand Island dressing, and sauerkraut. And for dessert, try our new chocolate turnover. They'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Draft day. Very stressful day. A lot going through your mind. You don't know who's gonna call, what team is gonna pick you up. So it's nerve-wracking, especially if you don't know for sure you're a first rounder. You know what I did to take it off my mind, my family, and a lot of my friends. We was together. We had a barbecue. You know, by the time I woke up Saturday, the Eagles called, and it was definitely a blessing.
The 2008 NFL Draft coming in April on NFL Network.
Do you own a business? Whether it's large or small, building a new facility can seem overwhelming. Get the space you need. Call Anthem Steel today for your pre-engineered steel building. When you look around, you'll see businesses, schools, and churches are using steel buildings to save time and money. Anthem Steel makes it easy for you to get the right building at the right price. A small deposit gets you started, and your design process will begin. Your Anthem representative will work with you to design the building to meet your needs. No hassle, no headache. Don't get caught with rising steel prices. Delaying your project could cost you thousands. Call now and save. Right now, you can get great prices like these for a manufacturing facility, gymnasium, church, warehouse, or maybe just a place to store those toys you've accumulated. If you need to build, call Anthem Steel today.
Broncos wide receiver Brandon Marshall needed stitches in his arm after an accident at his home in Orlando, Florida. Adam Schefter's reporting that Marshall was treated and released at a local hospital and is expected back in Denver on Monday. During the 2007 season, Marshall posted team highs and career highs with 102 receptions, 1,300 receiving yards, and 7 receiving touchdowns. The Bengals have acquired another weapon for Carson Palmer. Former Colt tight end Ben Utecht is heading to Cincy. The Colts could have retained Utecht, but they opted not to match a 3-year, $9 million offer for the restricted free agent. In other news, according to Adam Schefter, free agent kicker Orlando Mari will be visiting Denver and Seattle early next week. In Green Bay, safety Atari Bigby signed a 1-year tender, and the 49ers re-signed unrestricted free agent cornerback Donald Strickland. You're watching NFL Network Now.
Come on, fans! Let's go! Everybody shake it off! Let's go! Think we can't play? Hey, well, this is our game, baby. Take it through right now.
Well, this one had all the promise, Merlin Olsen, of being a classic matchup. The two best teams of the AFC, Dan Reeves Broncos and the Schottenheimer coach Browns, Elway of the Broncos against Kosar. And yet it started not that way. All Denver, 21-3, and it wasn't that close in the first half, and suddenly it has gone Cleveland's direction, and the Browns tie it.
Mo's on our side. You know, right now, we're hot. The defense is starting to click to do some things.
We had been a real strong defensive team all year long, and we weren't used to that. It was worrisome.
We stop him one time, we'll go ahead.
Looking for Sewell, instead goes to Mark Jackson, and he has a first down at the 42 as Denver's Elway trying to answer Cleveland's Kosar. Slamming forward near midfield. Barring overtime, we're 9 minutes and 38 seconds from San Diego. Sewell straightened by David Grayson, a rookie at linebacker from Fresno State. Number 56. Third down and a short 3. Back draw. Doesn't work. Stopped at the 49, a yard short. And the man who made the play is the man who is playing in the third string position at nose tackle, Darrell Sims. Bob Golick, the Pro Bowler, hurt. His replacement today, Pazzulli, injured, and here's Sims.
And Dan Reeves has sent his offensive team back onto the field at 4th and 1, and just inside of Cleveland territory, he's going to take a most interesting gamble.
We were really just going to let the clock run down and then, punt the football, from 5 yards deeper. At that particular point, it really doesn't hurt you. But Cleveland did call a timeout, which became critical at the end.
Cleveland called a time. They thought a fake was in the works, and now here's that pooch punt by Elway off the side of his foot.
Not a good one. It's coming back
to the 32-yard line.
You eliminate the possibility of a return if you, have John Elway punt it, and John does a great job. If you get it down inside the 20, you've kind of pinned them back. Unfortunately, the ball bounced back.
We were sitting there. I think most guys on defense, when John dropped back to kick the ball, that little pooch punt, man, we was like, oh no, what are we doing? We need a regular punter in there. This is not what we were writing in the script for the game.
And Kosar hitting Kevin Mack over the middle out to the 37-yard line with 8 minutes remaining in the game.
How many teams could survive the confidence breaks that this Cleveland Brown team had in the first half?
2nd and 5. Kosar going for a bundle, and he's got Slaughter in the clear and overshoots him. Oh, Steve Wilson had Slaughter slipping behind him.
Kosar, no lack of arm strength there. That ball in the air about 50, 55 yards. 3rd down, 5 yards to go.
Brian Brennan, first down at the 45. Brennan was responsible for one of the turnovers of the first half as he fumbled after a reception. Little guy from Boston College who idolizes Steve Largent.
Good pass again by Kosar. Dick, I was watching Larry Williams on that play. A badly sprained ankle. He's in there. Raposi has moved to center. Boy, I tell you, they're playing their hearts out on that Cleveland offensive line.
Mack cut off by Jim Ryan. Good play by Ryan. The smallest of the linebackers of the Denver Broncos. They list him at 218.
The blitz is on.
And the long pass downfield is knocked away brilliantly by Haynes. Brennan had touchdown written on that one as he had slipped deep. But Mark Haynes saves it for Denver.
Some confusion there as Webster Slaughter brought his man right into the end of that play. Unusual to see 2 receivers in this Cleveland offense bumping together as you look from the reverse angle.
We had a pretty complicated defense. We did many, many different things. It was much more mental than physical in a lot of ways. And when you make a mental error in that type of a defense, you're in big trouble. So we were trying to calm each other down and say, hey, we stopped them all first half. We can stop them now. This is when it really counts. Whatever's gone on before doesn't matter. Let's stop them now.
4th quarter, 31 all. 3rd and 11. sidelines.
Oh, great hands.
But well short of a first down at the 47.
Feiner lost his feet on the sideline, still able to catch that ball, but not able to pick up the first down. And Denver's defense rising to the occasion here.
Lee Johnson, who has kicked well today, although not so well since being acquired from Houston. End over end and short.
Not a good kick.
Clark went out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
Up next, one last drive for Elway and Kosar.
Fall in love with melty cheese. Taco Bell's cheesy beefy melt. Seasoned beef and melty, and even more glorious melty cheese. Get yours before it's gone.
Who could that be? Oh, wow. No, I'm there for you, buddy. That was Brad. He really wants to vent.
We should go.
Ready to vent? Let's vent. Let's vent.
Let's vent. Introducing the vented wide mouth can from Coors Light. It lets in air for a smooth, refreshing pour.
Is he okay?
I think we'll be venting a little longer.
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Hey, fellas, check this out. First time I saw her, she set my world, she set my world to reeling. And as the years go by for this country guy, well, we never lost the feeling. With his Billy Goat, I played my last note, I can't wait to get home. Viva Viagra.
Talk to your doctor about Viagra, America's most prescribed treatment for erectile dysfunction. Learn more at Viagra.com.
Viva Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing.
I'm Romeo Crennel, and you're watching NFL Network.
And 14 seconds. Does that sound familiar? Wasn't it about that time last year in Cleveland when Elway and Denver started on there too?
I mean, it's a new ball game now. We got to go out and try to find a way to win it. Everything that you'd fought for up to that point, now it's just starting over again. And we're at home, and we feel good. We feel good about being in Mile High Stadium. The crowd is behind you, and you got John Elway, and anything's possible. When you got John.
Natil at midfield.
What a great pattern and what a great throw. Boy, that's a great play. Again, credit to the offensive line of these Broncos who gave Elway the time to get that ball downfield.
Winder meets Sam Clancy and company. For Natil. Felix Wright, the deep man. Ball overthrown by the strong-armed Elway. He needs 7 for a first down. Natil will get more net to the 21-yard line.
That ball, you couldn't take it out there and hand it any better to Natil.
They spotted at the 20-yard line with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left.
All I remember about that touchdown was maybe we scored too quickly.
Just a little screen for Sammy Winder. You let the defensive lineman go through. Winder hides momentarily. And now Winder does his thing. Good running, a missed tackle there, a second missed tackle. Minifield, the second man to miss him. This Cleveland defense has been hurt badly by missed tackle. There's a little mud block right there.
The Duke has delivered, and it'll be Bernie Kosar with 4 minutes left to get his chance.
When we go out on the field, we're down by 7. We've been down by 18. We have been down by 11. So we're only down by 7. But they haven't stopped us all game. We had their defense on their heels. We feel like we had momentum on our side. We was in rhythm. We were on a roll, so we felt like we could go down and get another touchdown.
We had to stop them. We knew going it, and we didn't want to go overtime.
Please, Bernie, make it happen.
Well, when you're a kid and you grow up some 70 miles from Cleveland as a Browns fan, you dream about certain opportunities. We all did it in our youth, put ourselves in the position of our heroes. Bernie Kosar grew up a Cleveland Brown fan. Now it's his turn to rally Cleveland. Up the middle, Biner. And he has 20, make that 16 yards on a blast that opened quickly.
Cleveland continues to mix their plays well, in particular here in the second half. And we talked about rhythm. We talked about getting things hammering. They still want to play that physical game. Biner, a physical money player. They took advantage of him there. They've got it outside of their own 40 and moving in.
On the ground again to Biner. A grand climax to the American Football Conference season. 30-second clock of 4. Kosar underneath to Brennan. Ducks in with a first down at the 44 of Denver. 14 yards on the play.
What an alert play by Marty Schottenheimer. He counted the number of players out there, waved off Evan Mack. Brennan doing a good job working there on Dennis Smith. The same matchup that scored their touchdown to tie that game last year.
2 minutes and 10 seconds. Kosar to Brennan again. To the 24-yard line at the 2-minute timeout. The Cleveland Browns are 24 yards away from tying it again in Denver.
You had to reflect back on the year before, because just as Denver had stolen the game in the final quarter with that 1st and 98 drive, now it was the Browns in the second half that seemed to have all the momentum.
You don't think history is going to repeat itself, but this game was beginning to have overtime written all over it.
Late in that game, we looked at each other, and I think with the same expression that payback time. Isn't this world of the National Football League a wonderful place? That as disappointed as those fans were in Cleveland and the players and coaches, now Marty Schottenheimer and the Browns were going to turn the tables, and they then, with all this momentum, were going to be the winner in a possible overtime.
It didn't look good, honestly.
I mean, they were like a machine rolling down the field. And when you're standing there watching that, and you're watching these guys just perform perfectly, it gives you some hope that, okay, we can do this. We're going to win this game. We're going to tie it up, and then ultimately we're going to win it.
Before the snap, the charge by Andre Townsend. He was called earlier.
Encroachment, defense,
and
number
gets his
61,
second 5-yard penalty. And appears to have a first down or close to, as Dennison and Smith make the tackle at the 13-yard line. 38-31 Denver. To Biner. Oh, he was lucky he didn't collide with that upright of the goalpost.
Again, a very accurate pass, and we mentioned Biner's abilities as both catcher and blocker and runner. You've seen that today. Look how well thrown this pass is. Well, he would have been out. He would have been out of that end zone.
2nd and 10.
Offsides Denver.
Incomplete, intended for Langhorne. In essence, a free down for Kozar.
Boy, you don't want to make a mistake in that kind of critical situation. But this Denver defense traditionally makes so many big plays in critical conditions and down near their own goal line. These are the toughest yards in football right here.
There was never any doubt in my mind that we should give the ball to Ernest Byner. He was the reason we were still alive at that point.
I can tell you, number one, what we were thinking is turnover. Let's get the ball back.
Draw to Byner. Ernest Byner.
Fumble.
Fumble the ball, and Denver has recovered. Oh, my. Or have they? Let's wait for the official to unpile them.
There's a war going on under that stack.
There it is. Denver's ball at the 2-yard line. Byner had the 1st and goal and lost the ball.
I was in a very disadvantageous position. I was sitting in the visiting owner's box next to the press box in old Mile High Stadium. And through some idiotic design, we had to look through 3 windows, and everything was almost distorted. I saw a scramble. I had no idea what it was until I saw the Denver players jumping up in sheer exhilaration. I knew something went wrong.
As he took that handoff, and the collision was made with Castile, I know my call was hesitant because I thought Byner was going in for the touchdown. Had he not hesitated at the goal line, that's when I stopped. I was about to say, Byner, touchdown. Oh, my, 38-38. What a game this is. Instead, there was this silence for a fraction of a second. Byner frozen, and then you realize that he had fumbled the ball. I didn't see the ball come out.
Unfortunately, it was what Ernest didn't see that created the problem for us. You know, obviously the disappointment when it came out and they got the ball, but the way the play unfolded, the wide receiver was responsible for the corner. If playing bump and run on you, then you release outside, he'll cover you, and you just run up in the corner of the end zone.
Right at the last minute, I decide, hey, I got beat last time bumping this guy. I said to myself, well, why don't I back off so that I can get a real good picture of everything as it's happening.
Well, what happened to the receiver is he wanted to watch the play. He took one step outside. Castile turned around when the receiver stopped to see what was going on, and he then saw the ball being run by Ernest.
By backing off and getting about 6-7 yards off of him, when the draw play happened, I could see it, see the play develop, and it gave me a chance to beat Webster Slaughter and keep him from getting a chance to block me and come up and get in position. And as I'm approaching Byner, I'm sitting there thinking, how do I want to try to tackle him? Well, the entire second half, he's pretty much run over everybody on our defense. And I said, no, that's not going to do any good. If I try to come up and tackle this guy, he's just going to run me over and go into the end zone. Best thing for me to try to do is strip the ball.
Ernest Byner never saw him coming.
Jeremiah Castile, number 28, reaching in to strip that ball away. This Denver defense trained to reach at that football, to try to force those turnovers. They led the AFC this year in turnovers, tearing the heart out of Cleveland's offense.
Byner, who had picked up the first down, had ball out away from his body, and Castile, a reject from Tampa Bay, acquired on waivers by the Broncos, not only stripped it, but recovered it in the biggest play of his football life.
The recovery is made by the Broncos where? On the 2-yard line. And wasn't it just a year ago that the Broncos had the ball on the 2-yard line, and that led to the victory?
The year before with the drive, the drive basically tied the game up. We still had life. As soon as that fumble occurred, it was over.
And now, much to the chagrin of Byner and the Browns and their fans, this golden moment was just struck down by a a defensive back that nobody wanted earlier in the year, Jeremiah Castile. The standing line in Denver was he hasn't made a tackle in the NFL for 3 years, and then he's the one who knocks the ball free in the biggest forced fumble of his career and maybe of in Denver history.
Kosar did everything right. He got the ball to the man that they want to have it, as we talked about during the course of this day. Ernest Biner, 2 cities football crazed, and how unkind it is for the fans of Cleveland again.
Yeah, I know nobody felt as bad about that as Ernest did. You know, he felt like he had let us down, the city down, the team down.
I can't even describe the depth of the pain that was in his eyes.
But a low moment. I mean, how difficult it must be in the great arena, television and 80,000 people nearly watching you in person, to have the opportunity to be the star. And he was the star in that game. He was the man that Kosar went to, caught 7 passes and led the team in rushing that day, and had that just ripped away from you.
There's not a more competitive player who cares about his performance, who cares whether or not you win or lose, even above his own personal accolades, than Ernest Biner. And his performance that day kept us in the game. And then, unfortunately, an error takes us out of it.
In the game's final moments, Denver's Mike Horan sacrifices an intentional safety, giving Kosar time for one last gasp. But just like Biner on the drive before, he comes up painfully short. The Broncos celebrate their 38-33 escape and second consecutive AFC championship. The Browns are once again left to ponder how close they came.
I felt very sorry for Ernest Biner. He's a wonderful young man. You couldn't console him, couldn't comfort him in the dressing room. But I took him in my arms and I said, listen, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even be here. Yeah, but it just wasn't meant to be.
A lot of people tried to blame Ernest, and thankfully the people around him, that we wouldn't do it. I mean, there's no blame. There's no way you can blame one guy.
It's one of the tragic events of games, lots of games, that it comes down to one play, and yet this should not have been that way. One play should not change the outcome of a game. But this one was so obvious and so open that it came to characterize the game. I mean, it's the fumble.
I actually cried on the airplane. You know, I talked big in front of the media about not crying. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to handle this like a man. But on the airplane, I let go because it hurt bad. It really hurt. I feel like I let everybody down.
2 weeks later, unknown running back Timmy Smith gained a Super Bowl record 204 rushing yards as the Redskins drubbed the Broncos 42-10. 2 years later, the Broncos again beat the Browns in the AFC Championship 37-21. And once more, the Broncos were trounced in the Super Bowl, this time by the 49ers 55-10, the most lopsided defeat in Super Bowl history. As for Biner, he was traded to Washington after the 1988 season. He was the starting halfback in Super Bowl 26 and scored Washington's first touchdown. The Redskins won 37-24. He even enjoyed a second go-around with the Browns in 1994 and 1995. He ended his 14-year NFL career with the Baltimore Ravens in 1997. He left as the NFL's 16th all-time leading rusher. Yet, he'll be best remembered for what happened on the 2-yard line on that fateful day in Denver.
That's what happens in sports. You remember for the one glaring mistake, not your accomplishments. You talk about Ernest Biner, talk about the fumble.
I'm guilty of the same thing everyone else is when they look at Ernest Biner's career or even that game. It's like, how could he fumble right then? But I reviewed the film before this interview, and I looked at it, and he made big play. He probably made 6 or 7 big plays that put him in position to have a chance to tie the thing at the end. So when I think about his career, I'm going to try that fumble, because that was a great play by Jeremiah is what that was.
And for Byner, the man, I suspect that he still lives with it all and can't stand the fact that he might meet any stranger anytime. And when his name is announced or introduced right away, that person says, oh, yeah, 87, Denver, the fumble. How
January the 25th, 1981. America welcomes home 52 of its bravest amid the color and excitement of Super Bowl 15.
Super Sunday, what a day. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's like a dream come true. It's unbelievable. Yes, and we're going to win. We are going to win, no question.
Confident champions of the American Football Conference, the Oakland Raiders danced into this prestigious ball wearing glass slippers. If ever there was a Cinderella champion, it was these men in silver and black. Their quarterback, Jim Plunkett, had salvaged a wrecked career to become the NFL's comeback player of the year. And in only his second season, head coach Tom Flores directed a team with 14 new players through the wild card playoffs and into the Super Bowl. Shrewdly built by owner Al Davis, Oakland reflected the cool professional attitude of a team accustomed to meaningful games. This was all new to the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles, since Dick Vermeil had molded a winner out of a former loser. Because their personality mirrored his discipline and determination, these Eagles were often given more credit for being hard workers than good football players. However, in November, these tough Eagles had beaten the Raiders 10-7, mainly by sacking Jim Plunkett 8 times. It was here, in one of the season's most physical encounters, the initial battle lines were drawn for Super Bowl 15.
Well, I learned that from getting close to Jaworski and knocking him down a couple times, that he wears English leather. Jerry Sizemore wears Aramis. And that guy, Pete Perot, that second-year guy from Southwest Louisiana, he doesn't wear any cologne. He doesn't even use deodorant, I don't think.
Super Bowl 15 featured the most striking contrast in opponents since Darth Vader first crossed lasers with Luke Skywalker.
Here we go.
Stay tuned. Film Session returns after these messages.
In the old days, shopping for car insurance meant going to company after company, filling out form after form, and getting quotes one at a time. Today, you go to one place, Progressive.com. You get the Progressive Direct rate plus those other companies' rates in about 8 minutes. It's that simple. Start at Progressive.com and get all the information you need to make the best decision in about 8 minutes. Go to Progressive.com today.
Welcome to Progressive.com. Did you find your policy okay?
I did. Saved over $350.
We have a savings of $350. A savings of $350. You know, that comes with concierge claim service, local response claim service, and 24/7 live support, all at no extra charge.
Wow.
Wow, I know. I say it louder. Have a great day.
Lots of extra features that don't cost you extra. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Fall in love with melty cheese. Taco Bell's cheesy beefy melt. Seasoned beef and melty, and even more glorious melty cheese. Get yours before it's gone.
No matter how demanding my workout is, I'm not done until I finish it with EAS Myoplex. Taken within 30 minutes after my workout, the high-quality protein in Myoplex helps me refuel and build lean muscle. That way, I don't waste my workout. Now I'm done. Grab your EAS Myoplex at a leading retailer near you, or for your free sample, go to EAS.com.
Relive the 2007 season. The 5 best games from Week 4 are re-aired back to back. Sunday is still game day. Don't miss the action. NFL Replay, Sunday starting at 1, only on NFL Network.
I'm Romeo Crennel, and you're watching NFL Network.
Now, back to more Film Session on the NFL Network.
We only have 60 minutes to get it done, so no sense in waste. Start on the first play and give it everything you got on every snap, huh? Good luck to all of you, huh? Here we go.
And Super Bowl 15 is upon us.
First down.
On the game's third play, Dick Vermeil called
Double base pass 46-47, check with me. Dick.
for Vermeil and his coaching staff in the press box above. It proved to be a play-action pass that they immediately regretted.
Play fake. Back is Jaworski with time to throw.
He's got Spag.
Throws one. Intercepted. Rob Martin.
Oh, Ronnie. No. Throw it right to him.
Hey, went cover 6 and the linebacker came off.
Rod Martin, who was once cut by the Raiders, made the first big takeaway of the game from his outside linebacker position. Instead of lofting the ball over Martin, Jaworski fired hard and low, aiming for a seam in the Raiders' zone that turned out to be a mirage. Martin's interception proved to be a harbinger of bad times for the Eagles.
Third and goal on the 2. Plunkett drops back to pass. Steps up. He looks. Over the middle. He's got it. Touchdown Raiders! It's caught by Foot Branch. A 2-yard touchdown pass. Plunkett threw it almost like a dart.
Only quick thinking by Jim Plunkett saved the touchdown. His step-up forced linebacker Frank LeMaster to commit forward, creating a crease just big enough for a dart. The Raiders struck first, but on Philadelphia's third possession, the Eagle offense finally took wing.
Third and long. The Raiders in their 4-2-5. Back to pass. Now goes Jaworski. Looking, being chased out of the pocket to the right. He's got running room, directing play, going deep. A bomb to the end zone. It is a touchdown.
He got it. Touchdown. Rodney. Oh, we got a penalty.
Oh, we got a flag. Who's the penalty on? Daggone rotten touchdown called back. Was that on Harold, Dick?
Wide receiver Harold Carmichael had drawn an illegal motion penalty, canceling Philadelphia's chance to tie the score. This play left the Eagles in a state of shock from which they never seemed to recover. For the Raiders, on the other hand, an unusual reversal of Murphy's Law began, as everything that could go right did go right.
Drop back. Here comes the rush. Steps up. Can't find anybody yet. Takes off running to the left. Throws on the move. And it's caught by King at the 40. King takes over the 50. He'll go all the way. Nobody knows.
The pass covered 80 yards, a Super Bowl record.
Touchdown Raiders! And Plunkett opens up the bag of tricks. Plunkett on a third down play that time. Got good blocking, couldn't find the receivers. Skidded around to get open, and when Herm Edwards gambled, he came up stink-eyed.
Battles between evenly matched teams are seldom won without taking some risks. Philadelphia blitzed one linebacker and crossed their nose guard and end in an attempt to pressure the supposedly immobile quarterback. But it was good secondary coverage that finally flushed Plunkett from his pass pocket, where he gambled with a soft toss just above the reach of Eagle cornerback Herman Edwards. Alert and opportunistic, the Raiders led 14-0 as the second quarter began.
Stay tuned. Film session returns after these messages.
Try Arby's Market Fresh Reuben on marble rye bread or the rye wrap with corned beef, melted Swiss, Thousand Island dressing, and sauerkraut. They're so good, they'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Now get big arms, a ripped chest, and cut abs with the Perfect Push-Up. The Perfect Push-Up works with the natural rotation of your arms and shoulders to maximize results and minimize stress on your body. With the Perfect Push-Up, your hands, arms, and shoulders rotate 90 degrees, just like in a punch. All the energy of a push-up is captured and transmitted right where you want it, to the muscles. There's no wasted effort, just muscle-building movement. And as your arms rotate, you feel it work in your biceps, your triceps, your chest and abs, and your shoulders. Invented by a U.S. Navy SEAL and made with steel and a ball-bearing movement, it's the push-up perfected. So here's the deal. The Perfect Push-Up is only 2 payments of $19.95. When you order, you'll receive 2 Perfect Push-Up rotational handles, and you'll also receive the Navy SEAL-inspired Perfect Push-Up workout chart. You'll be ripped in no time. Get big fast. Call right now for the Perfect Push-Up.
Call 1-800-959-7591.
This summer, Brian Waters took a bunch of us from Dallas to Arrowhead Stadium, and we even got to go on the field. But the best part was just hanging out with Brian.
This is Brian Waters. You don't have to be a chief to make a difference. Volunteer at UnitedWay.org. A little of you goes a long way.
The Lions are making bold predictions, but can they live up to the hype?
Let's put on the show, please.
Detroit will be on the clock. And we take a closer look at Virginia's Brandon Albert in his first draft. Path to the draft tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
NFL Network, where football season never ends. With exclusive coverage of the Scouting Combine, every pick of the NFL Draft. NFL Network, football 24/7.
Personalize your life with Skinit.com. It's fun. It's easy. It's you. There's only one way to skin it. Go to Skinit.com. Choose your device. Pick your favorite team. The NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL, and many more. Or create your own at Skinit.com. Express yourself. Any skin, any device, any lifestyle. What's your skin? Sports, collegiate, entertainment, fashion, and more. Act now and get free shipping. Go to skinit.com today.
Coach, we got plenty of time and we're moving the ball well. Just we've given them a couple things. We just keep our heads and everything is fine as far as the game plan. Nothing to matter at all.
But not all was well with the Eagle game plan. Oakland's nose guard Reggie Kinlaw, number 62, was personally shutting down Philadelphia's prize running attack.
Come on! Where the hell is the nose guard coming from?
Kinlaw's been paying our so far.
Kinlaw proved to be one persistent lighthouse around which the storming chaos of the Raider defense revolved. Pursuit by Kinlaw and the Oakland linebackers completely took away the cutback running of Wilbert Montgomery and left the Eagles with only 69 yards rushing on the day. Unable to go through the Raiders' defense, Philadelphia was forced to go over it. Midway through the second period, a series of Jaworski completions set up Philadelphia's first points of the day, a 30-yard field goal by Tony Franklin. At last, the Eagles had reason to hope.
They're playing like we would like them to play to beat them. They really are, coverage-wise and everything else. Yeah. We'll get these guys. The big thing is we're all look a little bit tight, and they look exhausted already because of nerves, and we got to get them to relax a little bit.
Here's Franklin advancing on the football.
Up to this point, Philadelphia had seemed tense, even apprehensive.
Moody back takes it on the 1-yard line. Out to the 5, the 10, straight ahead 15. He has hit a ton, fumbles, followed on by Rod Martin. The Raiders have it. What a belt that time. Now the Raiders get the football after a tremendous lick.
Ron Baker's hit was nearly the jolt the Eagles needed. But as would be the case all day, the drowsy Eagles were a step behind the wide-awake Raiders. Oakland was embracing its opportunities. Philadelphia was not. But while the Eagles were not playing their best, behind almost every missed opportunity, there was a hustling Raider. However, Philadelphia's worst wound was self-inflicted, with 58 seconds remaining in the half.
Third down, quick release, goes to the end zone, overthrown, and a little quick time.
Oh, Ron. Perfect call.
Good break for the Raiders as Parker really got out of the blocks that time and had McKinney beat.
On fourth down, Eagle fortunes went from bad to worse.
Snap, spot, kick on the way. It is blocked. It's scooped up by Willie Jones. He drops it at the 20. He goes back to pick it up. He's hit. He fumbles again. It's on the bounce. It's on the carpet. It's a wild melee. The Raiders have the football. Holy Toledo.
No player in the history of pro football has blocked more kicks than Oakland's Ted Hendricks, number 83. However, none was more important than this one, for it confirmed that Oakland was winning pro football's world championship in the most convincing fashion possible.
Stay tuned. Film session returns after these messages.
yourself with Pennzoil Conventional Motor Oil. All weight $7.96 a gallon. That's less than $2 a quart. So whatever you're working on, Advance will help you keep the wheels turning.
No matter how demanding my workout is, I'm not done until I finish it with EAS MyoPlex. Taken within 30 minutes after my workout, the high-quality protein in MyoPlex helps me refuel and build lean muscle. That way, I don't waste my workout. Now I'm done. Grab your EAS MyoPlex at a leading retailer near you, or for your free sample, go to EAS.com.
People say that variety is the spice of life, but sometimes isn't the spice of life really spice? The brand new Spicy Baconator from Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's.
So tell me about yourself.
Well, you know, I'm an organized person, somebody who does not leave details out. I'm actually very, very good with groups. Group work. I've surpassed all my goals in my previous position, my prior job, and your competitor. My personnel under me have surpassed their own goals.
Oh.
Get famous at mytalkingstain.com.
This summer, Jason Witten of the Dallas Cowboys held a football camp in my town. Jason taught me how to use my legs when I block, and I took him down.
This is Jason Witten. You don't have to be a cowboy to make a difference. Volunteer at unitedway.org. A little you goes a long way.
Brady versus Manning. Relive the 2006 AFC Championship game. The complete broadcast in HD. Patriots, Colts. NFL Classics, Saturday at 8, only on NFL Network.
I'm Norv Turner, and you're watching NFL Network.
Now, back to more Film Session on the NFL Network.
As the second half began, Raider head coach Tom Flores realized that the key to the second half would be held by his huge offensive line. Philadelphia's defense also knew this, and by blitzing their linebackers, the Eagles hoped to break the lock, protecting the Oakland offense. This strategy seemed to work against the run, but against the pass, where it was needed most, the blitz was useless. The Raiders had gone into the game reasonably sure that, unlike their first meeting, they could protect Jim Plunkett. Using a blocking scheme devised by Tom Flores, Oakland picked up every blitz and every stunt the Eagles threw at them. Plunkett seemed to have all day to throw, a painful reality that chipped away at the Eagles' composure.
Philadelphia's defense may be a little frustrated. Maybe trying to shift to another gear that isn't there.
On Oakland's first possession of the third quarter, Plunkett drained a little more confidence from the Eagles' already shrinking reserves, moving his offense 77 yards on only 6 plays.
Back is Plunkett. Time to throw. Deep to the end zone to Branch. It is caught by Branch. Touchdown Raiders!
With the Eagle defense unsure of just what he would do next, Plunkett did what he planned to do all along. Once more, Oakland's pass protection was magnificent. But it was an adjustment to the ball by wide receiver Cliff Branch against Philadelphia's rookie cornerback, Roynell Young, that produced the touchdown. The Raiders were not hammering the Eagles into surrender. They were doing it with finesse and flair, the same style that had brought them to this Super Bowl. Trailing 21-3 with over 13 minutes remaining in the third quarter,
Plunkett's eating us alive.
the Eagles still believed that the promised land was within reach. The problem was, the only road out of these badlands was through the mountains of the Raider defense. Knowing that Ron Jaworski was being heavily pressured, Oakland secondary laid back in zone coverages designed to take away the long pass. When you're trying to throw over and between the NFL's tallest set of linebackers, there is little margin for error. And on a day when Ron Jaworski needed to be most accurate, he was not. Rod Martin's second interception tied a Super Bowl record and resulted in another Oakland score.
From 46, it's kicked well. And it is good. And Philadelphia is distinctly in a comeback mode now.
It's the eye right, play pass 47, pattern 683, flat and the go down.
Zan blitz, Zan blitz, Zan blitz.
Time and again, the Eagles had snowballed down the field, only to melt under the hot glare of the end zone.
We got to play. Get going now, Howard!
In the fourth quarter, the legs of Wilbert Montgomery and the arm of Ron Jaworski retrieved some of Philadelphia's dignity. But midnight had come and gone, and the Cinderella Raiders were still dancing.
The Raiders right now are in a situation to close in very firmly on their second Super Bowl championship in 4 years.
Jim Plunkett's performance in this Super Bowl ball was the stuff fairy tales are made of. 10 years of disappointment were behind him, for at last this Cinderella was healthy, poised and surrounded by men whose abilities equaled his own. Jim Plunkett's 261 yards and 3 touchdown passes earned him Super Bowl XV's Most Valuable Player award. And only a great save prevented a 4th touchdown pass. Another Chris Barfield goal concluded the scoring as Oakland ended Philadelphia's dreams of a world championship.
Dick Vermeil must be feeling the sting of frustration right now.
Anyone who ever said, one game cannot tarnish a great season, never lost a Super Bowl.
Good as you play to get here and play like that. Sad, good way to finish the season. Give Oakland a lot of credit. They beat our butts. Yep. Wasn't a fluke.
This tale was to have a storybook ending for the remarkable Raiders. A new Super Bowl record, achieved by perhaps the least known of all these Cinderella stuff.
Back is Jaworski. Sets up really deep. Now comes up the middle. Picked off. Rod Martin, the third time to lose. And Rod Martin once again slams the door in the face of the man they call Jaws, a sort of fitting symbol. Silver and black football. is king of the hill in the National Football League. Crescendo of Raider fans beginning to rise.
Oakland's victory created the sort of joyous reaction that comes with seeing something that suggests all things are possible. The Oakland Raiders, for 17 years, pro football's winningest organization, were once again the world champions of professional football.
The Prince came calling. Prince Pete Rozelle. He had a silver slipper.
The Raiders became, of course, the first wild card to win the Super Bowl. I think it's a tremendous compliment to the organization because you had to win 4 postseason games. I think it's a great credit to you for putting this team together. You've earned it. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, Commissioner. This was our finest hour. This was the finest hour in the history of the Oakland Raiders. To Tom Flores, the coaches, and the great athletes, you were magnificent out there today. You really are. And we want to welcome back the hostages to the United States. All right. And take pride and be proud. Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You were magnificent.